Hello, bonjour, namaste. This is your host Simran Singh from AnyTechTrial.com. Welcome to this episode of NotableTalks by AnyTechTrial.com, world's largest software marketplace where you can plan your full digital transformation roadmap by exploring, comparing, and trying out softwares for free for all of your business and personal needs. Today we have with us Miss Olga, co-founder and CEO of Workademy. Welcome to Notable Talks, Olga ma'am.
Thank you so much, Simran. Thank you for inviting me. I'm really happy to be here.
Thank you for being with us in this session. Let's get started with our interview for the day. Here's my first question for you. Today, many companies are adopting digital transformation in their internal operations, to customer interactions to effectively and efficiently fulfill their business objectives. Could you kindly explain to our audiences what exactly is digital transformation and how do you see it impacting the business ecosystem as a whole?
Yeah, sure. So in a very simplistic way, the digital transformation is when you move some manual or paper process to your computer. So for example, if before we were signing contracts on paper, we would send them around by post office. Right now we can prepare a Google Doc and sign it and send to people through email or DocuSign or any other service, and it makes business going faster, it makes businesses growing faster, and of course it affects the whole ecosystem in a way that the competition as well as cooperation becomes faster. So in order to be competitive, you should move faster in your digital transformation roadmap, because otherwise you will be eaten by your competitors. So for example, if you are growing and you're hiring new people and you still do onboarding face-to-face and one-on-one, you will be slower. So it makes sense to somehow move onboarding, for example, to digital world.
Digitalization in educational institutions is making significant changes to the way students learn, with remote studying becoming more popular globally. How are digital technologies used in today's education landscape, and how is the whole learning experience expected to change for students in the future?
Thank you for this question. Yes, digitalization makes a huge impact on learning and education, especially in the last 2 years of COVID. We saw that for the schools and universities to be prepared to digital world was crucial. Some schools were not prepared for having virtual classes, and it was a very chaotic mess. But of course, everyone had to adapt. And now what I see more and more is that schools and universities have somehow of hybrid thing. So they teach something in class, but they also have a lot of things online, which makes things faster, and it streamlined the processes a lot. And another impact on education, and not only in the classroom or university or schools, also in corporate education, is that right now we are getting used to, right now, not during the past years, we are getting more and more used to have all the information on our fingerprints. So for some things, spending 5 years in the university and learning this subject, it doesn't make sense. Of course, it does make sense still to acquire some fundamental knowledge, but combining it with hybrid and online and digital learning. And the hybrid and blended things, they work really, really well together, and it works really well in any kind of education, in the classroom, in the universities, in the corporate education as well.
With the hybrid work model being implemented in many companies, as well as many students today learning remotely through e learning, secure data protection increased its importance for today's internet users. And as the co founder of two companies, how did you ensure a secure working environment for your employees? And how do you see the future of a hybrid workplace?
Thank you for this question. The security in the digital world is crucially important. especially because of data privacy and data of users and employees, of course. And very interesting that we are just discussing security lately almost every day with the aggression coming from Russia. It's a topic of discussion for many companies and entities. There is a lot of cyber war going on. It's a hybrid war, and there is a lot of things going on hacking websites and taking some data and doing something with it. But of course, imagine that we are outside of the war, and we are talking about providing security to our users, to our clients, to our employees with our digital products or environments. And there are some obvious things that should be done to guarantee data security on technical level. So having secure connection via SSL certificates, make sure that you use trusted cloud providers such as AWS, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud. For example, in our case, we use AWS, and we make sure that we use everything possible there and everything available there to prevent DDoS attacks, database hacking, and of course, we do password encryption, and we make sure that no one is able to connect to those databases and to get data from. This is how we do it.
As digital technologies are being more involved in one's lifestyle, and with the introduction of metaverse, digital platforms are now key for many businesses to survive. With your extensive experience and seasoned knowledge, what do you think would be the key marketing channels on which one should focus to drive their business and meet their marketing objectives in 2022?
Thank you. It's a great question because marketing has changed a lot during the digital transformation, but not only this. Of course, it depends on whether you target businesses or consumers, but there is a common thing: the creator economy, which drives both B2B and B2C marketing channels. So, for example, what you do with podcast, you creating some content, you curate it, and you acquire with this content your users and clients. And this is very important nowadays. We have, for example, we have TikTokers, influencers that scale their creations to their consumer audience, and we have LinkedIn, podcasts, webinars, where we create educational content and help people to learn about some particularly interesting subject and acquire our target audience with it. Education is a key, and I think that it should be focused for any marketing activities.
You are originally from Ukraine. How do you cope now during these difficult times for your nation? And how are you managing to run your business and support your country at the same time?
Well, the first couple of days were super difficult because we were not believing in what was happening. We could not believe that we knew that Russia was threatening Ukraine, but we never expected that it would brutally attack the country. And of course, it became impossible to focus on work. It's hard to sleep. We wake up really early and we grab our phones. We ask our families and friends, are you still alive? How are you? And we try to help as much as we can. We coordinate some cargo delivery. We fight on the information front line. We help our volunteers to help refugees. So yeah, it's very hard. We want to country be in peace. We want to stop war, and we don't want it to spread to Europe. And of course, we also try to go to politicians in Europe and ask them for help that needs to be done in order to prevent the escalation to World War III. But also there are several things that happened to Workademy. So after a couple of days, I realized that, hey, we have this business and we wanted to still run, because only by running our businesses, we support economy and we can help Ukraine. But of course, I wasn't able to do my like usual stuff that I was doing before. So acquiring clients through LinkedIn messaging, following up, writing emails, having some events, having some content. It was out of question. So I launched the campaign that I called Acquire and an LMS and Help Ukraine. And basically in this campaign, I said to my network, hey guys, this time I don't have time to go after you to write the follow-ups or whatever. So this, as simple as it is, if your company needs a learning management system, we have a learning management system for you. Half of the subscription price will go to Help Ukraine. And this way I try to have both, still run my business and acquire clients and help Ukraine at the same time. Another thing that we do with Workademy, we provided our platform to people who create stories about some educational stories about what's going on. And we are also preparing educational materials on hybrid wars and on propaganda, because we've been saying for 70 years after World War II, never again. And now look what happened. So we failed as a world tolerating the propaganda that Russia has been doing to preparing these horrible things. So education is really, really important. And I'm really happy that we can provide Workademy for such a good cause and to make this never again a real never again thing. Yeah, we try to do as much as we can and use technology to help us in this.
So we would love to hear your views about us. AnyTechTrial.com.
If I understood correctly, AnyTechTrial.com gives the possibility to try SaaS software and compare to be able to grow your digital transformation world in your company. And I think that this is a great, great way of bringing value to both providers and customers. And thank you for doing this.
Now, here comes the most interesting part of our question. This is a game. It's basically a rapid fire round. So you have to be really quick. You can't take much time. So let's get started. One word that comes to your mind about yourself.
Strong.
Skills.
Time management.
Productivity.
Here we management again.
Food.
Beer.
Favorite movie.
I can only think about TV show Seinfeld. It's really great.
Favorite collaboration tool.
Workademy.
One thing you wish you knew earlier in your life.
I cannot think of such a thing. I think that everything that I learned was just in time.
Thank you so much. That was really a fun round with you. Thank you so much. I thoroughly enjoyed this session. I hope you enjoyed it as well.
Yes, very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Olga ma'am, for sharing such insightful information with us. And thank you, everyone, for joining with us in this episode of Notable Talks by AnyTechTrial.com. Hope you enjoyed it and look forward to meeting you at the new episode soon. Till then, stay connected with us at our social media channels and AnyTechTrial.com. This is your host, Simran Singh, signing off. Take care and stay safe.